Welcome back to the Global Falcons podcast. I'm your host, Andrew L.G. Hunter.
And I'm your host, Angela Hunter.
And we are here with Amie Wilhelm.
Hi.
Hello, Amie, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We have some questions. Ange, you want to start us off with the first one?
Sure. Well, who is Amie and Lather Hair Co?
Okay, well, I don't even know where to start with that.
That's a loaded first question.
It's a loaded question. Who am I?
When I did it, I couldn't come up with
I'm like, I could go on for hours, or I can make this real short and sweet. Basically, I'm just like I'm a small town girl. I grew up northeast of Prince Albert. I grew up going to Candle Lake every weekend, and I moved to Saskatoon in 2007. I did a year of pre-university classes to get into education. Sorry. Obviously, I'm like playing with my hair. Yeah, so I had originally moved to Saskatoon to start like a career in education and become a teacher because my dream was to be a cosmetology teacher. Nice. So first year, like any university student, didn't really go too hot. And I finished that year, took a year off, and then decided that, man, I really need to get an education to get a job. So then that's when I decided to go to hair school, and I got my cosmetology diploma in, I believe, 2009, maybe 2010. I don't know. It was a very long time ago. And yeah, so then long story short, I did hair behind the chair full time. Until 2018, I had some like really cool experiences. I worked at an Aveda concept salon with Alicia Soulier, who was like a really well-known entrepreneur in our city. So she started off with Capelli, and I was like one of the founding members of that. And we went to Minneapolis for education, and like we were like the new it salon, and it was really cool. And that kind of like inspired me, and like I've always wanted to have that, but my own. So as the years progressed, I like moved to other salons, and then in 2018, me and my husband had lost our son, and I just decided that like I couldn't really work behind the chair anymore. So from there, I decided to go back to university. And I completed my Bachelor of Education. So I majored in cosmetology. Nice. And I minored in social studies, but I like to like say that social studies is so vast that like Indigenous studies is my area, and specifically Métis history. I'm like a huge geek. Yeah, so I finished that, and I have been teaching in Saskatoon for the last 4 years. I started up some cosmetology programs. I started a 10-20-30 program at a high school here, I won't say where. And then I worked at like my dream job, cosmetology teacher in the city here. And just like with the way union stuff happens, I just like couldn't get it in. So then I just like kind of decided, like I'm just going to do my own thing. And so I did. So yeah, I'm kind of like a go-getter. I'll just like, somebody tells me no, well, I'll still figure out how to get there. So I kind of just decided like, I've been trying to put hair into education all this time, and it's great. And I love teaching, and I love what I do. However, I just kind of want to do it on my own terms too. So this is a way I can do that. So I get to funnel both career paths that way. So I get to be a teacher. So I teach my stylists behind the chair. I might even become a teacher, like a hairstyling, like master stylist for a company. I'm looking into that. And then I still am teaching part-time as well, like within Saskatoon.
So you're like really busy.
I'm very, very busy. I don't know how to turn it off. I love it. I'm very passionate about lots of things. I'm obviously like really passionate about like my Métis history and teaching like elementary to middle years, high school. Like I just love it. But I also like missed hair. Mm-hmm. So I'm coming back in full force, and now I have my own version of what we had in 2012 when Capelli had opened. So yeah, it's really cool.
What a great intro.
I don't know. Like, it's crazy. I just kind of go get her.
I find most entrepreneurs are always doing multiple things. Do you find that difficult? Because you just doing a lot of things.
I'm doing a lot of things, but I also don't do well when I sit still. So yes, is it difficult? Yes, 100%. But also I don't like to not do anything. So I think it's like kind of good for me in a way too. But I also need to like slow down sometimes. But
I can definitely relate.
Yeah.
That's great. What's the next one here? What gave you the drive to achieve success as an entrepreneur?
Well, I don't even know if I'm there yet. Success is a very big word in my vocabulary, and I feel like we're a month out of opening, and with the opening, there's systems that need to be put in place and things that need to be done differently than other salons because we are a Euphoria partner salon. I want it to like be that. Like, I want you to live that, and yeah, so there's systems that need to be put in place, and I'm not successful yet, but I really hope that I will be successful. I think we have a lot of great things going on for us, but yeah, I think that we have a lot to show our city and show our city what we're capable of and kind of go from there. But yeah.
Can you just like dive into a little bit of how it's different? I'm very
so Euphoria. Oh my gosh. So Euphoria. So I'm going to back to 2012 when we were like in an Aveda salon. So I'm Aveda trained. I worked at other salons before, but I had like significant training with Aveda, where we would like, well, for example, Alicia, like my mentor, she was a master stylist who was trained by a master stylist who was trained by a master stylist. And so Alicia won like Contessa's, which is like hair awards and stuff. And like she was very into Aveda at the time. And Aveda was a different line. So it's like very aromatherapy. It's clean for you, clean for the planet, clean for everybody. And then she inspired our whole team by taking us to Minneapolis. And we went to a hair show there. And I got to sit front row with her. She bought 2 VIP tickets. And I sat front row with her, and I was just like in awe, like seeing these people on stage teaching us things that I had never seen before. Like, there was a master stylist on stage. I'm not even kidding you. His scissors had like 7 blades, and he's just like doing the things. And it like totally inspired me. It was like a fashion show, but it was hair. And then they taught us like how to do shoots on stage and stuff. And then we all went to these breakout sessions where the people that were on stage were the ones teaching us.
Oh, wow.
So I was just like totally inspired. And then come back to Saskatoon. We're inspired. We're talking about it. We're also obsessed with the products that we use because A, they smell so good, B, they're high performing, and C, they're good for you and the environment. Like, it was just like a no-brainer. Like, you lived it. Yeah. And that's kind of like why I went with Euphoria too, is because I was going to go with Aveda, which is, I love Aveda still to this day. Now there's a lot more like great brands out there that are doing great things that are like sustainable and good for the environment and good for you and healthy. But I was like, oh, I better see what's out there before I like, spend a lot of money on a line. And so I met with this rep and I said to her, she's like, well, what do you like? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to open up an Aveda salon, but I'm just double checking that there's not something new and better out there before I do this. And so exactly, right? Because I've been under the game for a little while. And so she's like, well, have you heard of Euphoria? And I'm like, well, yeah, like we used to use it back in the day when we couldn't get Aveda, but like, I don't know. I wasn't like here nor there with it. Like, tell me more. And so she's like, well, actually, like the founder of Aveda and the founder of Euphoria worked on Aveda together. And then they just wanted to have their own companies. So it's like very clean, aromatherapy, good for you, good for the environment. Like when you smell it, you can't get that smell out of your, like it's something that you want to come back because it smells so good. and the experience too. So then you have like your hand massages, your Euphoria regimens, like you get a hot towel at the sink, and you know, you're just like a little bit more than just an in and out. Like I don't want my salon to be an in and out. I don't want my stylist to be done a guest in 2.5 hours and pump through all the guests. Like if you're spending that much money on your hair, you should have a really good experience. So Euphoria helps bring that to the salon, and then also like the business end too, like their supports. So they have like tracking systems to help my stylists like keep track of everything, and then also like incentives, and like we're gonna be going to Vision Quest in San Diego in May, and
that's awesome.
like really cool things. So I was in San Diego in November. I took their business course because I wanted to be successful before I even opened up my doors. Here's that word.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so there's just like these opportunities that we can get. And yes, you can do that with any line, but I want it to be like, again, like lived in. Like you really love this line so much that you believe in it so much that you're going to live it day by day. And that's kind of what Euphoria does. Long story short. My short story.
It sounds like it's very passionate.
I am very passionate. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what was your, I guess you sort of went through the story of the first experience with it. What are the 3 most important habits to be successful in your business?
Oh, that's really good. This is something I try to talk to with my stylist every day, because I think a lot of times in the hairstyling field, we become unprofessional because we become friends with our guests, and then we forget that we're there doing a job. So number 1, I would say, is always stay professional and stay relatable to your field. So even if you do have that relationship with your guest, your number 1 concern is like their scalp and their hair. So I always say, like, I'm not a doctor, but I could tell you like what's going on with your scalp, where you should go, and how to help correct it. Whereas I think, I don't know, I think sometimes we forget that part, like what we went to school for, like learning about the scalp and hair and the skin, and that those are just as important as like doing pretty hair and helping people in our chair, because half the time they don't know. And if they don't know, then how would they go to their doctor and say, hey, I think I need blood work because my scalp's itchy, red, and I'm thinning. You know, like there's these parts of our job that is what make us professional, and we get that part gets forgotten sometimes. But like I can look at somebody's scalp and I can't diagnose, but I could tell you what you need to do and where to start and how to approach it and get better hair. So they're
Me either.
really,
yeah. That's
see, but that's part of our job. Yeah, that's part of our job. And then like too, it's like maybe if you don't know what you like about your hair, well, maybe you can't tell the person that it's heavy here because you don't know you just know it's not working. Mm. So then I could maybe help give you a product that will make it work, or a haircut that will make it work. It's not just as simple as like doing pretty hair. Yeah. It's making sure you know all the things. And then also following through with that. Like, so if I'm talking to you about your scalp because I'm concerned about it, well, I better have a solution for it. And if I don't, then I'm going to find a solution for you and tell you where to go, and then rebook so I can see your hair again in 4 weeks, so then I know if it's working or if it's not working. And if it's not working, then you need to go back to your doctor. Mm-hmm. Like there's just like those things that we forget. Yeah, we forget. You know, it's like, yeah, it is about doing pretty hair and having a nice experience, but we are professionals and we are trained, and we have massive textbooks that we have to go through about scalp and hair anatomy and body anatomy that people forget. And it's like, no, we are professionals, you know? So
yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
You'll have to go there.
Yeah, I think
I need a better hair experience.
Yeah, wow. Well, I don't know. I'm just very passionate. PhD.
Yeah.
Hey, I might have a PhD one day. It just might not be in hairstyling.
I think you should have an honorary one already.
Like, psychology, maybe.
What is one piece of advice you would give others just starting out?
Yeah, so like it's super scary, obviously, and I'm still in that phase. I remember like the lease portion was extremely terrifying, and I was like, am I doing the right thing? Am I like signing something? Like, how can I trust people? Like, I need a lawyer to look at this. Like, I didn't need the lawyer. I had a really good lease agent, but I still pay for the lawyer. Yeah, Graham.
Yeah.
And
Graham Robertson.
Yeah.
So you find that.
Yeah.
And he totally had my back, but I was so scared. I still paid $2,000 for a lawyer, you know, like just to make sure. And I think lots of people do. They back out of these deals because we get scared, because it is scary and there is a lot on the line. And if you don't pay your rent, that's really scary, you know? So, I mean, if you're successful enough to get to getting a lease, then I say just keep going because you'll figure it out, you know? And then if you are professional and you are doing all the right things, people notice that and then the business will continue to grow. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Right. That's some good advice.
But I'm still going through it.
Well, yeah, I think entrepreneur learning never really ends.
No, I don't think learning ever ends.
So what do you think the biggest challenge is to being an entrepreneur?
Like right now, I think I'm in that biggest challenge. We're a month out of opening. I'm still trying to teach, which I love, and I don't want to give up. So balancing that with life, and then still being there for my staff, but then also still trying to be a mom and a wife and a daughter. Like, I don't even know the last time I went to my parents' house. And I used to go there like all the time, you know, like they live 2 hours away. Let me add, I'm not that bad of a daughter. They live 2 hours away. But yeah, like, you know, I just need to find that work-life balance, I guess. Yeah.
I feel like that's a big thing coming up that everyone's starting to talk about, work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just in the last few years, that has like risen. You know?
Well, actually, we talked about it in my course in San Diego too. Like they're like, what's really, because the thing we hear is it's so hard to hire stylists. It's like, yeah, because we're not being accommodating to a new generation of people that aren't trained to work around the clock. Like, it's just a different generation. And not that it's wrong, not that they're lazy, they're not. They want to work when they want to work. And we need to learn to either grow with it or we'll plummet off the hill because we won't find people that want to work for us.
Yeah, and the 4-day work weeks.
Yeah.
And like,
everyone
you know,
loves that.
Tech is making it a lot easier so that people don't have to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I feel you.
Yeah, I feel like the new generation too, it's just like they're not as materialistic as past generations. Like,
no,
we were shoved with so much stuff, and yeah, now minimalism is the thing. Like, they don't need a bunch of money,
which is crazy
spend
to
on
me.
stuff.
I just want all the things.
It's totally our generation. We just like we're shoved that.
I want it now.
I want it now, and I don't want to wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, real quick, if you like what you've seen and you like what you hear, please hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend, and send this information because you never know who it will help.
And if you have any comments, criticisms, critiques, any information you want to share with us, please comment. Find us on social media. I am at Angela Hunter on Facebook, Instagram. I think that's basically all I really use right now. So those are the two main ones where you can find me.
I'm on all of them, and my handle is the same on all of them. I like to keep it safe. I like to keep it simple. So that is Andrew LG Hunter on all platforms. Thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed.